What is up, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another Palworld 1.0 video. Today, guys, I'm going to be showing you the top 3 ways to farm DOGECOIN in Palworld 1.0. Now, guys, this is from the perspective of sort of an early game, mid game, and late game tier. So feel free to jump to the timestamps found below if you're looking for a particular tier. But nonetheless, let's get into it. So first off, the first method is by looking for these scrap piles. Now in these scrap piles, you will have a chance of getting DOGECOIN. You can see there, we do also get some other random loot too in there. However, what I would recommend is getting yourself an aquatic pal or a water type pal. So for example, we have a Serpent here. Now, Serpent is one of the first sort of aquatic pals that you can ride around on when you are playing Palworld. Its saddle requirement is only level 16. Once you get that, you're essentially open up to the rest of the map, as you can pretty much get anywhere on a Serpent, as long as it doesn't die to an army of Kelpsies. Now, like I was saying, you can go ahead and ride the Serpent through the water, and you essentially just want to coast around the beach areas looking for these scrap piles. Doing so will net you DOGECOIN. As well as that, you will find the watchtowers as well that will grant you accessories and DOGECOIN as well while out here. Now, the best part about cruising around on the ocean is that there's not really many threats that can get to you. So you can essentially go all the way to Cjthecheesedj, which is what I would recommend. And out here, you will find that there are lots of these piles that you can search for, and you will be able to get a butt ton of DOGECOIN. And you can see here, we did get a small amount of DOGECOIN just from searching that little pile there. You also, like I mentioned, have these watchtowers. Now, these majority of the time will net you some DOGECOIN every time that you solve them. So they're definitely worth getting into. Oh, what have we got? That one. Boom, just like that. And you'll see we should get some DOGECOIN from there. There we go, 20 DOGECOIN just from that. So if you cruise around on your aquatic type pal cruising through the water, Serpent is just an example of this. You can use whatever water pal you want. But this is one of the earliest pals that you can get, and it will essentially unlock the rest of the map for you. Now, like I mentioned, you can swim out to Cjthecheesedj Island, and you will find all of these drops out here as well, and these will actually grant you higher tier materials because it is technically a higher tier area. So just cruise around the coast looking out for the scrap piles. You can also find the chests out here as well. Just be careful that you don't come into contact with any of the high level pals as well, as that could net you quite a bit of trouble. But you will find the watchtowers out here as well, which you can hack into for more DOGECOIN, and you will notice that you will get better drops out here. Since you have a water type pal that can swim, it's really recommended just to get out here if you are after that extra DOGECOIN. However, the other methods located further on in the video will probably prove more efficient. And you will probably spend more time just leveling up and doing that to get to the higher tier methods that I would recommend. Now, the good thing about searching these piles as well is that they do also give you some XP as well. So if you are low on XP, you will get a bunch of it from there. And you can see that we even got some legendary spheres as well as the DOGECOIN. So this will increase your chances of getting better loot out here. And you can see from a couple of the piles that we did get quite a bit of DOGECOIN. So this is a great method to use when you're starting off. But let's move on to the next one. Now, guys, for this next method of DOGECOIN farming, you are going to need an aquatic pal, so something like a Gangler or a Walaska or something like that. You are going to need yourself a fishing rod, as well as the powerful fishing magnets. Now, as well, which I would heavily recommend, is grabbing yourself a Gelroy. You can see there, this is a fully condensed Gelroy, and while in party, it increases the items obtained from salvaging by 95%. All you then need to do is simply swim around until you find yourself some salvaging sites. Honestly, heading out to Faybreak Island is probably your best bet, just because there's so many salvaging sites out here in the ocean. And you'll see that when you fish up or salvage at these sites, you will obtain DOGECOIN as well. Now, you'll get roughly about 40 DOGECOIN from the salvage sites when you do hit the DOGECOIN drops, but you'll also get a bunch of other stuff. So if you're at that point where you start needing Corallamore or you start needing extra skill books or anything like that, I'd heavily recommend this. And of course, when we start recording, this is the moment we don't start collecting any of the DOGECOIN. So I did also already salvage at like 3 of these spots, and each one of those presented me with some DOGECOIN, but now that I'm recording, I'm not getting any DOGECOIN whatsoever. So bear with me. Now, obviously, it's not guaranteed every drop, but having the Gelroy with you definitely helps out. And you can see there that we did actually get 2 of those skill books, and you're also getting some schematics as well. So we just got some Hexalite armor there. We're getting the Corallamore. And as far as I'm aware, Gelroy is the only one that increases salvage. And this is starting to look very embarrassing on my part. I kid you not. I literally salvaged 3 spots before pressing record and got like 120 DOGECOIN. So now I'm kind of looking like a little bit of a fool. But nonetheless, at least you'll be getting a bunch of Corallimall as well as potentially even handbooks. At the moment, I'm not getting any DOGECOIN, so give me 1 sec. We'll hit up some salvage spots until we find some DOGECOIN. And you can see there, we got some DOGECOIN from that one. It's about damn time, because I tell you what, I was starting to look like a bit of a fool. So a decent amount. We got 32 from that, so it's a little bit better than the standard salvaging way, but it still isn't as good as the final method that I will be showing you. And this one does take quite a bit more of a setup than the first one as well. So I definitely recommend hitting up this third and final farm to get all the DOGECOIN you could possibly want. So guys, the setup is going to require you to not die first off. Now, what you're going to need is a flyer. I've got Xiaolong here. You can use any flyer that you like, anything that's fast and can get you around the map. I just like using Xiaolong. You're then going to want Blaze Howl Knocked, hopefully fully condensed, as this will cause neutral pals to drop 80% more items, and then a Catris as well. Now, this is also great because obviously neutral pals will drop 160% more items, and you can already see here we've gotten a crap ton of DOGECOINs just from doing this loop. So you want to bring those guys out. Now you can bring out extra pals, but I find that these guys are more than enough to get the job done. If you do want to bring out something that gives you extra drops from ice pals, such as Phaleris, you can go ahead and do that as well. But essentially what you want to come to do is come out to the world tree, and you're going to look for this sort of plain white flooring. This is the root area that we're going to be looking for. So all you need to do then is simply fly around this area and look for Mimogs. So you will occasionally get a pal that spawns in that's got the world tree effect in this area. There is also an event that will generally occur in another area that will fly by. But you essentially just want to fly through this area, nice and chill. Keep an eye out for any Mimogs that you can see. And your stamina. And then once you've done that loop to this little ravine here, you then want to fly back around. So you just want to go back around this way, and you want to go around the tower this direction. Now, what this allows is it respawns in the pals that are in the area. Now, you'll occasionally get an event in here where there might be some random pals that spawn in. You might get a nest that spawns in, that sort of stuff. Feel free to take them out, as it does reduce the, it does increase the chance of more Mimogs spawning in. As well as that, you can potentially get some extra bonus loot from doing so. So you want to essentially just fly around this area. Now, you can see here, we've still got nothing yet. It might take you a couple of loops to find what the Mimogs that you're after, but you can see, boom, just like that, we've got 2 up here. Now, I do have my pal appearance rate set to 2, as well as my drop rate set to 2. So, obviously, what you're seeing is double what you would get. And then all you'll need to do is, I've got my Xiaolong, so I'm going to go ahead and pop Meteor Rain, and this will one-shot the Mimogs, just like that. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. You go ahead, grab that, and just like that, we've gotten 1,200 DOGECOIN. Now, obviously, like I said, my rates are boosted just because I don't really want to grind for a super long time. But that's essentially all you need to do. Once you've found some Mimogs, you just fly off in the other direction. Keep an eye out for any of the pals that have that extra effect glowing on them. Keep an eye out for any rampaging pals, as they do drop the giant pal souls for you, and you can kill them along the way as well. Like I mentioned, this is where the sword of Phaleris would come in handy, causing your ice pals to drop more resources as well. And you just want to repeat this loop until you've got your desired amount of DOGECOIN. You can kill the spawns that come in, so any of the ice type pals that you get that spawn in, you can kill them. I thought that was a Mimog just there, but it turns out it's just the terrain. And here, look, here we go, 2 more Mimogs. Let's go ahead and murder these guys. Easy, just like that. You can use whatever you want to kill them. Obviously, I would recommend making sure that you can kill them in 1 hit. Otherwise, they will run away from you, and then you could potentially struggle to find them after that. Now, if you find that you're not finding many Mimogs, or that some of the pals haven't despawned, what you can do is simply fast travel out of the area, fly around for a little bit outside of this snow area, go farm in like the beginning section of the world tree, like out here where all the electric type pals are. And by the time you kill a couple of things, that should sort out the respawners of the pals that are located out here. So you can go ahead, return back out here, and farm up the Mimogs. And you shouldn't have any issues with any other pals that are appearing out here. And you can see here, we've got 2 more Mimogs. Let's go ahead and murder them. So already decent amount of DOGECOIN just from killing these guys. Now you can capture them and butcher them if you want to, but I find that that doesn't give you DOGECOIN, so there's not really too much of a point in doing so. Unless you really want the Mimog, you can do that, but other than that, there's not really much effort or use in going about capturing them. But guys, that's going to be it from today's video. Hopefully you guys found it useful. If you did, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe down below for more, and I'll catch you in the next one.